It has never been easier to build a tool, an app, or a website. Platforms like Lovable can put them together for you within minutes, but getting your app or website found is a completely different problem. Last year, I went to the Semrush Spotlight conference in Amsterdam, and I listened to a talk from Elena Verna, who is the head of growth at Lovable. And she talked a lot about making a product that's so good that people naturally want to share it with others. Now, I agree that that is the gold standard that we're all aiming for, but when you're first building your projects on Lovable, you simply cannot rely on people sharing it if they can't find it. There are over 200,000 new projects added to the Lovable platform alone every single day. Now, standing out in that sea of new projects is going to be hard if you don't know what people are looking for and what your competitors are up to. But that gap is exactly what the Semrush and Lovable connection aims to solve. You can now do keyword research, competitor analysis, and more right within the same tool that you're using to build your app or website. There's no more switching between platforms. So if you have already built your app or website within Lovable, or if you're ready to start your first project, this video will show you how easy it is to get set up and start optimizing for search and AI visibility right from the beginning. Let's jump over to Lovable and I'll show you exactly how to do this. So you can actually talk to Semrush data within Lovable right now without any extra setup steps. You don't even need a Semrush account for this, and it won't cost you anything more than your standard Lovable build credits. Plus, chatting with your Semrush data is free through August 2026, so if you're watching this before then, now is the perfect time to get started. To do this, just jump into one of your projects and ask a question related to SEO and online visibility. For example, you could ask, how can I improve my search visibility for this project if you already have a live website? But you can even do this if you're building the project right now. So I've just asked what are some keywords I should target with this website and who my main competitors are likely to be. And you can see it is checking rankings on Semrush for various different products that it has pulled from my website to try and find keywords that would be relevant for me to target. Once it's finished, you get a full breakdown of priority keywords to target. And then also further down, I see my main competitors. So you'll see it's pulled in Semrush data for monthly search volume and keyword difficulty. And it even adds some notes. So it's pulled these beeswax wraps as my signature product. And so it'd be worth creating a dedicated category page around. So it goes beyond just Semrush data and it adds in some context, so you would be able to take this a step further than just having a keyword list. Looking at our competitors, it has listed a few of them and gives me some information about what they rank for and which category they fall into. It even gives me a quick action plan down the bottom. But the real magic of using Semrush within Lovable goes beyond this fairly basic interaction. If you connect your Semrush account to Lovable, it can leverage the API to perform some really useful analyses right within the Lovable editor, and they'll go much further than the simple interaction that I just showed you. Just note that what I'm about to show you will require a Semrush subscription, and it will use the API connection. If you have any of the SEO Classic or Semrush One subscriptions, you'll have 50,000 API units to use each month anyway, so you can give this a go right now. Setting up the Lovable and Semrush connection is fairly straightforward. If you've used any AI tool like Claude or ChatGPT and used a connector in the past, it's fairly similar. You just press this plus button down at the bottom, then go to connectors and then manage connectors. A screen will open up like this and you can just type in Semrush, click on Semrush and then add connection. So you'll get a box like this will open up and you'll just want to hit the connect button. This will take you to an OAuth screen where you'll see what it wants to receive access to and then you'll just hit approve. Once you do this, you'll see it is now connected to Semrush. You can close this and you can come in here. I'm just going to double check that it's connected. So you can see that it says it is not yet connected to this project and it will set up the connection for me. So I'm just going to say yes, connect. You'll then see a dialog like this and I'll just hit connect. So if you've never used Lovable before, it is very straightforward to use and get it to build a variety of websites, tools and apps. And for this fictional example, I just asked Lovable to create a photography website. So you can see here is the prompt that I used and I just specified some pages to build and some information about them, gave some very brief design notes. And you can see within a few minutes, it built this entire website for me. I could talk about the wonders of vibe coding, tools and apps and websites all day, but I want to respect your time with this video. So I'll keep the focus here on the discoverability integration rather than dwelling too much on just how it has built this website for me in a couple of minutes. But the goal with this website is to find keywords that I want to target with my services pages. So right now, if I go to the services tab up here, I have 4 services: brand and headshot photography, wedding, family and lifestyle, and real estate and interiors photography. but they don't go anywhere right now. They just take me to a contact page. So what I want to do is create some content for them and target the right kind of keywords with those pages. So for this example, I am a solo photographer in a big city, and I'm competing with every other photographer in the city and probably some national directories and that kind of thing as well. So I could ask Lovable to create some nice looking pages. I could even upload my own images and have it looking great, but without knowing what people are actually searching for, I'm not going to show up for the terms that I need to actually drive leads and make money from those service pages. So what I'm going to need to do is I will just ask Lovable to help me find those keywords and then go a step further and create those pages for me. Obviously, I will check everything before I make these changes live. That's a given when you're using any AI tool, but I am just going to show you how you can use this to dramatically speed up your processes and get keyword optimized pages live very quickly. So I'm just going to paste in this prompt that I've put together, asking it to create the 4 service pages and find the best keywords that I should be targeting based on where I am and the service offering. I'm specifying that the website is new, and so I would prefer to focus on less competitive terms. I'm going to say that search volume isn't super important, but obviously I do want some search demand, and some of the terms are naturally going to be quite competitive. So I want to balance search volume and keyword difficulty where I can. These service pages are going to focus on keywords with buying intent. I just want to specify that because obviously I'm looking to drive sales and leads. And the focus will be on people in the Austin area. So I will hit enter and we will come back whenever it is finished. So the beauty of working within the platform that you use to build the tool or website is that it has full context on the entire tool or website. Obviously, I just set this up with a fairly quick prompt, but if you're building this kind of thing for real, you would probably have a lot more back and forth with the tool for building a real website. Now, this is really useful because it means that if you're doing quite extensive keyword research for multiple pages, then Lovable has the context of what those pages contain because it helped you build them. So if you're uploading content to the project, it will also have context on that content as well. It doesn't have to write the content for you to have that context. So it's a bit like having an assistant that knows everything about your website, helping you to conduct the keyword research based on context, rather than it just being a separate tool that doesn't have that context and that you have to do a lot more filtering with manually to get the kind of results that you need. So we can see the output here. It has given me some recommended target keywords. It has given me H1s or page titles to use, suggested headshots Austin with monthly search volume and keyword difficulty, and it's suggesting that that is the best volume to difficulty ratio in the set. It's given me some secondary keywords, some easy win terms to go after, and it's even given me some information about how it would structure the page. Then it's suggesting down at the bottom that there is a fairly high level of competition for this cluster, and it's even bringing in some information about advertisers, which is super interesting, and you would have to either be thinking about this yourself when you're doing the keyword research, or you'd be relying on somebody else helping you understand that. So it's really interesting to have that kind of insight as you're trying to find the keywords. Then it says, want me to build the brand and headshot service page right now with these keywords baked into the copy. So I'm just going to say yes, and I will come back whenever the page is finished. So it has now built the page, and I'm going to click this new Learn More button, and it takes me to a brand new page. And if I scroll down, I can see there is some copy here with keywords immediately noticeable within the copy, so that's great. And some more information. There we go, another probably secondary keyword in there, and then a CTA down at the bottom, ready to book your Austin headshot session. So this is really cool to see how quickly it has put that together. Obviously, you would want to go through and check this copy. It's all AI generated right now. So what you would do if you were adding your own copy to this is you would get Lovable to cross-check your copy with the keywords that it found in the previous prompt. And you can then find out how optimized your content is. You could ask it to help you restructure it, add in new keywords here and there, and it would likely give you advice on where you might want to add them. But I just find this to be a really good example of how quickly you can create SEO optimized content by just linking two very powerful tools together. Lovable is already extremely powerful for building things. As you can see, within a few minutes, it has not only like a full website put together, but now an optimized website thanks to the connection with Semrush. So that's how you can use the Lovable and Semrush connection to do keyword research for a local service business. But you could easily apply this approach to any kind of website, whether it's for a blog, e-commerce store, or anything else. Next, I want to show you how you can do competitor and link building research right within the Lovable editor. So Lovable is great for building websites super fast, but I would argue that its main claim to fame is probably its ability to build real tools and apps with proper functionality. So as an example, I entered this prompt here and Lovable spun up a pretty impressive MVP for a link in bio style tool designed to give brands and creators their own mini website that they can easily link to and update within the platform, rather than just giving them a generic list of links that they would include in their bio on social media or wherever it may be. It created the tool pretty quickly, and then after that I asked it to integrate it into a website featuring this tool. It still amazes me how quickly you can put together a fairly solid site with built-in functionality like this just within a few prompts. So with a SaaS business, the goal is obviously to drive revenue through people signing up on the site. So in this fictional example, we might have a blog with product-led content that would hopefully incentivize users to sign up. Now, a big part of getting clicks to those pages in the first place is having enough authority so that you can show up on Google and also appear in AI-generated answers for relevant terms that your target market is typing in. Because beyond Google search, appearing in AI answers also requires a strong brand presence across the web. So if I am a new link in bio tool, I'm going to be competing with the likes of Linktree that have massive authority. And so I need to basically understand the landscape that I'm getting into before I start creating content, before I start trying to do link building outreach and that kind of thing to improve my own authority. So what I'll do is I'll ask Lovable to perform a quick competitor overview. So if you already know who your competitors are, you can just enter them here. Or if you want to find competitors, you can just ask Lovable to find those competitors for you. It will use Semrush data to show you things like the authority score of those websites and the kind of traffic that they are driving. And importantly for this section of the video, it will also show you how many backlinks and referring domains that they have. So first, I'll just make sure that the Lovable connection is indeed set up for this project, and then I will ask it to perform this basic competitor analysis so that I can understand which competitors I should be paying attention to coming into this market. So we can now see the list of top 5 competitors that Lovable has found using the Semrush tool connection. You can see Linktree unsurprisingly at the top, along with authority score, estimated traffic, total number of backlinks, and total number of referring domains. And we can also see that for our other 4 competitors here. So now we know who our top competitors are. The next step is to form a backlink gap analysis. A backlink gap analysis is how you find links that point to all of your rivals that don't point to you. So these are ideally going to be links that you can try to replicate yourself, particularly if a website is linking to multiple competitors but not to you, because this is indicating that they might be more likely to link to you rather than a completely cold website that doesn't link to any of your competitors or anyone in your industry. Obviously, in this example, it's quite extreme. My competitors have massive authority and I'm unlikely to enter this industry as a new tool and expect to get the kind of link profiles that they have. But for illustrative purposes, I will run a backlink gap analysis within Lovable using these competitors as the example. So I will just ask Lovable to perform a backlink gap analysis for me. Now, I don't even need to specify to use Semrush because Lovable knows that if you want to perform this kind of analysis, Semrush is the tool to use. So because my site in this example isn't live yet, I'm just going to ask the tool to find domains that point to all of my competitors. The backlink gap tool has functionality to show domains that point to all the websites that you enter, meaning you can perform a backlink gap even if you don't have a live website yet. Obviously, if your website is live, Lovable will just use your domain on the platform as your website, and then it will perform a backlink gap analysis as normal. Something else worth noting here is that anytime you're using an AI tool, in particular one that has a tool or API connection, you want to make sure you're not going to burn through tokens, credits, or API units. So if I was to just run a Semrush backlink gap analysis and say, find me all the links that point to all of my competitors, and let's say, like this example, my competitors have thousands or millions of links pointing to them, then you could very quickly burn through your credits within Lovable as it has to run these analyses, but also your API credits within Semrush. You want to probably specify a number because, like in this example, I'm saying to find the top 25 links sorted by page authority score. That instantly brings the data set down quite a lot, and I want to prioritize these links anyway, and I can always add to this. So once you get the list of backlinks, you would work through them, looking at the kind of page that the link comes from and the kind of page that it's linking to on your rival site. And then you would also want to assess how relevant a link would be to your site if you got one from that website. So you can scroll through the list here. I can already see a lot of these would either be unattainable or not super relevant, and so I might want to take the analysis further or add more filters for my next backlink gap analysis. From there, you'd then conduct link building outreach to boost your site's authority and hopefully your site's visibility. So there you have it. Multiple powerful ways that you can use Semrush right now to improve your Lovable project's visibility. First, you can chat with Semrush data and gain basic visibility insights within any project right now. No subscription required and no jumping between tools. If you want to connect your Semrush account though, you can perform more in-depth keyword research before you write a single word on any of your pages, and you can perform competitor and backlink analyses to find out how to further improve your site's authority and visibility. This means you can build within Lovable and optimize from the start rather than as an afterthought. Semrush data is available to all Lovable users within the building experience, and anyone with an SEO Classic or Semrush One subscription can benefit from the deeper API connection right now too. For more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we are uploading new content every single week to help you build and grow your online presence. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.